Hello, hello, welcome back. Today I'd like to look with you at a Montaña Blanca pumice. Montaña Blanca is a volcanic complex at the foot of Teide volcano on Tenerife. And Montaña Blanca, it erupted in several pulses, but broadly speaking, it erupted about 2,000 years ago. The eruptions of Montaña Blanca were witnessed by the local Aboriginal population, the Guanches, and it's speculated that this gave rise to the name of the volcano. Apparently, Teide in Guanche means hell because the Montaña Blanca eruption was quite intense. It produced several domes and rather widespread pumice blankets, and it would have affected quite large areas, at least with pumice cover, and pumice would have fallen on quite a large area. And I think this would have not gone unnoticed on other parts of the island either. So here I'd like to show you some of these kind of bubbles here, and you get a pretty good idea here. Here's one of the larger bubbles, and you can see that these were obviously in the process of expansion. Indeed, what happens here is that inside the volcanic conduit, the bubbles are expanding due to decompression, due to the magma moving up, and the decompression causes the gas to feel more free, so it's going to expand, and the liquid, the magma surrounding it, might be quite viscous at that point, and it is not able to actually accommodate this expansion as a fluid, so it's going to start to be ripped apart, and this is why we have potentially even ash and pumice involved. The more the fragmentation in the conduit takes place, or the more intense it is, the more ash we produce. And in this case, this is a bit of pumice that happens to be just erupted before the absolute fragmentation. If the gas bubbles would have grown a little further, we can imagine that this lump of pumice would have been kind of destroyed into many, many small pieces. But let me try to get you a little closer here. So here we see the intricate textures in there, the glass kind of films, and the very thin streaks that come from the expansion of the material in the still liquid state. But you can work out that this was a rather viscous process. So let me kind of hoover around a little around this rock and see what else we see. There's a few more features. The mineralogy of the rock is very hard to see, but there is some feldspar in there. It's dominantly feldspar. In thin section, we also see some mafic minerals. There's the odd little pyroxene in there, and also some oxides. It's not very hydrous, but obviously there was enough gas to cause an explosion. And here again, in this little bubble here, we see, there we are, we see the glass kind of in the process of being moved apart, in the process of expansion due to the bubbles growing, likely due to decompression. So I'd like to take you to the other side of the sample for 1 second. For that, I need to take you back a little. So here's a few more impressions, and you see that the bubbles are quite different in size. There's some large ones, there's some tiny ones, and I guess the sample was frozen before all of these bubbles could grow and fragment the sample into tiny shards and ash. You may just about see some mineral grains here. I believe this one would be a little pyroxene, but most of the dark specks are actually little bubbles. So I think we got a good impression. Let me turn the specimen a little bit further yet again. So I think we've indulged in those textures now quite sufficiently, and I'm gonna cut it off now. Otherwise, I'll get lost in these little bubbles because I don't know. I find them highly fascinating. Thank you for joining me, and we'll do a little bit more degassing in the next little while for the next few sessions. Thank you. Join again. All the best. Bye bye.